morning. Welcome to Women's Corner. Here we'll talk about women and everything that has to do with a woman. And of course, we try to make sure that we project women in a very good light to empower them and to make it more better for them in this life. Also, at the same time, we try to, give some education to the children, to the men, because we always need them in our lives. Okay, today we'll be talking about, glaucoma. Of course, we know it's an eye disease. I won't call it an infection. It's more like an eye disease that can cause a total blindness if not well handled before time. But of course, we have a certified nurse that will be telling us how we can actually avoid this and to give us more education on that, because they say most Africans, especially Nigerians, we have like the highest number of people who turn blind due to glaucoma. So let's quickly go for a short break. Welcome back. I hope we heard those tips for women in their 50s. The ones I would like to pick out most importantly is telling them to avoid canned or processed food. They should have more of vegetables and fruits, and also use more of moisturizers for their skin, because at that point, what produces this very good smell from our body, like, when you carry a baby, the way they smell is quite different when you enter an aged woman's house. So most of these things helps us not to have those kind of smell, even though eventually we'll have it. But that is just going to help reduce how concentrated that smell is going to be. Also, they said reducing your salt and a whole lot of things, a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you try to sleep, and once in a while, take a walk, exercise. Don't do anything too strenuous so you can still have energy to walk around even without a walking stick. Those are for the women. And of course, it's also for the men. Yes, the men can actually do that. So yes, that's an amazing tip. Okay, we have our guest. Her name is Boluwatife Kende. She's an ophthalmic nurse and she is a coach. Good morning, Boluwatife. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
It's good to see you. How are you doing?
Fine, very well. I'm glad to be here too.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for the patience. We just had to take care of some things, and of course to show some tips so that women in their age, at that later age, can actually understand. And like I said, there's one important thing I know a lot of people will say when it comes to the site, because we've had an ophthalmologist actually come in before and talked about lifestyle, that most of the times we have Nigerians having the high number of people that go blind due to glaucoma. So we just want to know, what exactly do you think causes, what exactly causes glaucoma first? Let's start with that. What are the things that we evade, that we're supposed to be conscious of, that eventually causes that and, turn to blindness?
Okay, thank you. I'll start by saying preventive care is actually more affordable. You understand? For glaucoma, there is no cost. The cost is unknown. And then when the cost is unknown, the treatments are usually, it's easy to know a cause, because you know that, okay, this is a cause, these are the things to do so as to, prevent such from happening. But in case of glaucoma, the cause is unknown. So it depends on when and how early the patient presents in the clinic, help us with the modality of treatment. So for Nigerians or for Africans, we can say that we just usually encourage that people come in for eye checkup at least once in 6 months, or let's say once in a year. But when you're an age of 40 years and above, we encourage that you visit the eye clinic more often, so that investigation, examinations can be done in order to rule out any eye diseases, because most of the time these diseases, especially for glaucoma, they are asymptomatic. When I mean asymptomatic, they don't come with symptoms. They don't exhibit anything. By the time they start exhibiting symptoms, a major damage has been done.
Okay, you already said something that I was even going to ask, like what are the symptoms that affect and that makes people have glaucoma? So I just want to ask now, for persons that probably feel like people that maybe genetically heritage, they have this eye problem, this sight problem, maybe from their parents, or yeah, basically from their parents or their ancestors. You understand? Now, when it comes to this glaucoma, do you think it's genetically transferred? Like someone who had it, maybe your parents had it. It's just like diabetes. They always tell you if your parents have, you might have if you don't manage yourself. So do you think it's, a genetical trace thing?
Yeah, for glaucoma, it's genetic. And then for Africans, yeah, we have it in Africa. Yes. If you have a parent or a grandparent with glaucoma, it's advisable for you to also go for screening as early as possible because you don't want to have that. And if that is the case, you want to get a care at the right time and early enough. So,
Okay, so when early
I'll just,
detected, what are the things that people need to do? Because there are some persons that, you can detect it earlier. And when you detect it earlier, it's very easy for you to probably, how would I put it, maybe prevent or maintain so it doesn't turn to blindness. And I just want to ask, would it eventually turn to blindness when you detect it at an early stage? Maybe you did your screening, eye test screening, and they found that you have it, but it's still at the very early stage. Is it possible that they can actually prevent the person from going blind, or they can only just elongate the period when the blindness might actually come to be?
okay, maybe I should just go back and I'm going to say in a layman's language. For glaucoma, we call it a silent thief of sight. It happens slowly and it's gradually. So over the period of time, it's going to result into damaging of the optic nerve, which is like a brain box, or let's say that's the major thing you need at the back of the eye for transmission. It takes the impulse from the eye to the brain and interprets. So once the damage is done to that, you should know that the vision then is disturbed. So, okay, so in the case of what's it called now? Glaucoma now. Okay, I'll just cause there are numbers of them. We call them a group of eye diseases. So, we have different types of it and all of that. So it is when you come in early that we can say, okay, these are the things. So when we say that how to prevent blindness is not, I can't assure that, okay, blindness in glaucoma is permanently prevented. It can only slow down the rates, at which it can happen. However, it depends on how early this person or this patient presents in the clinic. If you present early, and then how do you present early is by constant eye checkups. So if you are doing that often or early, you do that is a routine for you. Once glaucoma is beginning to happen, once the optic nerve, maybe there is a pressure or any other thing is beginning to happen at the back of the eye, we can easily catch it. And once it is being caught, we tell you what to do. Do this. There are different modalities to the treatment. And if you are, there's another thing with our clients here and in this part of Africa. It's compliance to drug regimen. If you are compliant to your drug regimen, you present early. Yes, I can assure you that you can enjoy your sight for a longer period, but I cannot assure you that you're not going to go blind. I'm not saying that because there are different causes. So for those that present late, maybe for instance, 60-70% of the damage has been done to the eye, you're presenting as an health practitioner, we're only there to only, do all we can to keep the 30% to ensure that you have that little vision. And it depends. Let's say for somebody that is 60, 70 years of age and then presented while the damage had been, maybe had like a 70% damage. Let's say the person lives like about 100. Yeah, 30 years is a bit, and then of course with compliance to drug regimen, it's something we can manage. But imagine that with somebody like, let's say 25, 30, because we have younger people that come down with glaucoma too. So imagine somebody like that, and this person is going to live as to the age of 100. Our chances of managing, that duration is not assured, but with treatments, compliance to drug regimens, we can assure you that with all of this, you can have your vision for a very long time.
Thank you very much. Okay, now I know a lot of people have asked me this because there's some questions and persons really wanted to know about this. So the first one I'm going to ask from some of our viewers is they said medically, what for the eyesight now, not just about glaucoma, medically, what do you think people, vegetables and fruits is very good for eyesight? This is because some persons use glasses. Some have short-sightedness, some have long-sightedness, some have conjunctivitis, different things, happening to them. And they want to live healthy. They want to make, they want to use their eyes till they are very old. Do you understand? So the question is, what vegetable, what fruit exactly is targeted for helping the eyes to, sometimes I've seen, because growing up, I've used glasses before. And it got to a point I was consistent with it. They would say, take yeast, take apple, take all of this. And I realized that sometimes when I get the glasses, I have like a very banging headache. And when I went back to meet my optician, he told me I did another screening and he said, no, your eyes is actually getting better. Like it's not the glasses is affecting you because you're not supposed to be using that measurement anymore. So it was because there was a lifestyle they advised me to, maintain. And I noticed I started getting corrected. I was getting better, even, that I could even stay without my glasses now. It's very okay for me. So I'm not in a position to do that because, like I said, I'm not an ophthalmic nurse. So that is why we have here. So what are the healthy vegetables and the healthy fruits that people can take to actually help their eyesight?
Okay. I'll start by saying that for eye, eye is very, as small as it is, it's very broad. So it's not something that I cannot just say, okay, these are the things to do and not to do. However, there are guidelines we can follow to enjoy a very good and optimal health in our eye. In terms of vegetable, the main vitamin we need for the eye is vitamin A. And so we have some classes of food that contains that. And we also have some companies coming up with some medication. We have some that are that in sales already, that contain more of this vitamin A. And then, it helps to boost, the vitamins in the body, especially the ones for the eye. So we have carrots. Carrots is very rich in vitamin A. So it's advisable that you take enough carrots, as much as you could. We have egg. The yolk is rich in vitamin. We have potatoes, However, we have locust beans. We have palm oil. Those are diets now, that can help you, boost your vitamin A level. However, I am not saying with taking these diets, your chances that you are not, I'm not saying, oh, these are the things you need to eat. So why am I eating this thing? And why am I coming down with any high, problem? Because, there are a whole lot of other things that could be associated. You understand? So it's just like, okay, just eating healthy and keeping healthy. Yeah, you can take those diets. So
okay, thank you very much.
Then for those that
I
think there are two questions.
Yeah.
I think there are two questions. Sorry, one for the use of eyeglasses that you mentioned. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So for the use of eyeglasses, it depends also. We have people that are long-sighted. We have those that are short-sighted. So I can't just look at you, best looking at you with my eye and say, oh, you're long-sighted or you're short-sighted. However, being an experienced person, I can tell like, oh, maybe because you squint or if you don't move something too close, very close to your eyes, okay, I can tell that, okay, this is probably, but you still need to go under the necessary screening to be sure. And then, of course, with long and short-sightedness, glasses is a good, measure. It helps them a lot. And then with that, and then when we say you use glasses, it makes your vision better. Growth is a continuous thing. The way we grow, we change in body, in stature. Our eyes also grow. So when we give you a lens, we don't expect that you still wear that lens for a lifetime. At least every 2 years, go and do another examination. Most likely, you might have outgrown. Most likely. So if you outgrow, they are going to give you another. And when we say your glasses is going to make your vision better, it's not like it's going to make your vision better in the sense that it's going to completely rule out the cause. It's just going to make you to squint less for those that do something like this. or makes you to, for those that do something like that and brings, maybe a paper far away from them or their phone, it's just going to stop all that. It's just for convenience, makes things closer to you for those that are short-sighted and for those that are long-sighted also, it's just to help you adjust your and seeing and straining of the eye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that. That's very deep explanation, and I'm sure they heard what you said. And mentioned vitamins, mentioned some fruit. So I'm sure you all are watching those who have been acting, so you can take note of that. And she made it distinctly that it is not like there is a particular food you have to eat to make it work. It's not like there's a particular fruit or vegetable you have to eat to make it work. It's just a lifestyle you have to build, as she said. While you grow, your eyes also, grows too with it. So it might not be corrected as you think, but if you work with it, you might be able to use your eyes way, way better than you probably envisage it for the next 2 years if you do not take care of yourself. Okay, I have another question from the viewers for Kendi. Now, my question is, not my question, basically. I have some people asking. Now, there's a particular person that said he takes vitamin B complex a whole lot. And his best vegetable is moringa leaf. I don't know if you know moringa leaf. So once he takes that, he takes this and takes the other one. So his eyes, I don't know. He was saying like his eyes was getting, sometimes he doesn't need to use the glasses. Sometimes he used to use the glasses. But from my own understanding, I was like, B complex. How does B complex has to do with your eyes? So I just want you to clarify that. What is the relationship? No relationship, okay? What's the relationship between B complex? I don't understand with the eyes so that he can actually understand where we are coming from.
Like I mentioned earlier, I said the major vitamin necessary for the eye is vitamin A. So a B complex is not vitamin A. So I think it's just psychological. You know how we tend to believe that, oh, if I do this is how something works for me. Yeah, and so another person, I'm going to also chip in. I have also somebody very close to me that says, oh, I prefer to eat my locust beans raw. When I eat it raw, especially in the evening, when I sleep and I wake up, I see a lot of discharges. Oh, my visions are better. And I'm like, no, yes, locust beans is good for the eye, but that's not how it works. You understand? So it doesn't work that way. There's actually no correlation with vitamin B complex and the eye. Of course, it can do other things in the body. It has its own function, but particularly about the eye, not necessarily. So
okay, as though someone says, like you said, she said whenever she uses her glasses, to read for quite a while, if she takes it off more than she wears it, she tends to have a little bit of this discharge on the eyes. But when she wears the glasses for too long, studying or concentrating, she tends to have the eye discharge so much in the morning that sometimes she feels like the discharge is gluing her eyes together. Sometimes she has to wash it off. They're also thick and all of that. So I don't know, what's your response to that? What does that mean? Is that something she needs to do, or what she needs to avoid? Or I don't know.
Okay, first I'll say that she needs to get help, maybe she needs to visit the clinic so that we can be sure that there are no infections, in there. There are bacterial infections flying here and there, so it could have gotten into the eye. And again, where does she work? Is she usually or constantly exposed to dust, dusty environments? Those are other things. Then for women, makeup. We have this eyeliner and the likes. Is she reacting to any one of them, or maybe eyelash? So those are the other things. Then her glasses wear. How often does she clean it? You can actually clean your glasses under running water. Just put your glasses under running water. Of course, you must have washed your hands, wash the faces. There are other bacteria that fly here and there that might have sticked. And people will react differently. Some people they have very sensitive bodies, and it refers to every part of their body. So it might just be that there's something around the glasses, that once she puts it on, it gives that, feeling. Or maybe she's more or constantly exposed to dust. However, she should visit the nearby eye clinic around her so that if they need to place her on medications, they will do that by screening her properly and all of that.
Okay, thank you very much. Because of what you said, this is actually the first time I'm hearing that you need to wash your glasses. I didn't know about that. So please, can you educate us more? How can we wash our glasses? Because I'm even wearing one right now, even though it's just for the light. But how can we actually wash our glasses? Please help us.
This is the tip I'm supposed to get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, well, I'm here to give it to you people. Wash your glasses as often as possible. There's a difference when you get a new pair of glasses and use after a while. We have people, it's not all of us are being careful about how we wear the glasses. Some people remove their glasses not directly into the case. They remove it and just put it anywhere. And then when they need it, they just pick it up. I encourage for those that are wearer, the only time you are allowed to remove your glasses, it depends, however, but for those that their glasses both for sight and vision, please only remove your glasses when you're ready to go to bed or when you want to go to the bathroom. Do you understand? Yeah, but I don't expect you to have your bath with your glasses on. But when you are not, in any of this, maybe you're not ready to sleep or you're not, please always have your glasses on and ensure personal hygiene. There's this small, clean, what's it called, cloth, like a small handkerchief that is usually inside the glasses case. Some people have never washed theirs. Do you understand? Yeah, some people have never washed, and you don't have to have one. So get as much as possible. Always clean it. For cleaning of the glass, put it under a running water. You can also have gentle, soap, but it depends. However, I don't want to spill out the soap. Some people now want to take detergent, but this is a personal thing I do because I also have glasses for springs. Also, you can just put, all those what do we call it? Dishwasher. They are very bad. You can just put very little in your hand, maybe when you just put it on the faces of the glasses gently, maybe in your two fingers like this, then just rub gently the first eye and the second and rinse careful, thoroughly under a running water. And then get a napkin or something to clean. And of course, I'm not asking you to just pick some random napkin from the kitchen. Get maybe a white handkerchief or, something, maybe the glass and clean properly. And then you enjoy it. So you should also clean our glasses. Is important to clean. And then there's another thing they sell. We have this lens spray. If you can afford that, please get that too. It's like a spray. You just spray it inside and outside the glasses. Get it clean and you wipe and you're good to
go. Amazing. Thank you very much. This is very, very educating. At least I could learn how to wash the glasses because for me, I just feel it's that little handkerchief in your glass case, or you probably just have to, if it's dirty, you get a white handkerchief and clean it off. Because sometimes I even see that despite the cleaning, it's not as, it doesn't look as perfect as when it was given to you at first. But when you said washing, I just knew that there is no way you wash your glasses. It will look as though they just gave it to you that moment. You understand? So yes, I think it's even better to actually try to wash it. And I'll emphasize on warm water. She said warm water because some people in Nigeria, when you say I use warm water to bathe, to be honest, when you dip your hand into that warm water, it's as good as hot water.
Mm-hmm.
She said, when they say warm water, it's warm water. So please, warm water is something you can just put your feet in and just relax, not hot water. Anyways, that's all we can take for today. Thank you so much, Boluwatife Kehinde. But before we let you go, what was the final advice? Maybe there's something I did ask you or something I didn't, direct myself to, and it's in your mind that you must let the people be aware of. In just like a minute or two, can you please share those things you have in mind?
Okay. Before I go into that, I was trying to correct the other thing you said. I didn't say warm. I said under a running water.
Okay, running water.
It doesn't have to be warm. Just normal. Yes, running water, tap water. Yeah. Okay. I'll just say that preventive measure is better than curative. When you say health is expensive, have you tried ignorance? For this part of the world, I've just, I noticed it's just a common thing with Africans. I can say maybe Nigeria especially. I'm in Nigeria, so I can talk for myself. We have this nonchalant attitude about maybe about the care of our body generally, but particularly about you can be nonchalant about every other part of your body if you care. I mean, if you have, God forbid, there's a reason for a leg to be amputated. There are prostheses that you can use and you can make you walk. Maybe not as much as you walk if you have your two legs. But when it comes to the eye, any damage that is done to the eye is irreversible. Even when we try to do some procedures, and then we try to put them on artificial eye, it's just for cosmetic purposes. It's not to see. So I don't understand why you would have something wrong with your eye or something going on, and then you wait till the one eye is completely gone, and then you have one eye left. Then you still wait till the second eye is almost gone. Then you present to the hospital. I don't understand. What do you expect us to do? And then when you come, are you expecting us to perform magic? Of course, we'll do our part, being in healthcare, but it's painful because sometimes these things could have been preventable. Most cases, there are things that could have been preventable or manageable. You don't even have to lose the 2 eye. You don't even have to get to that state. And when you say they are expensive, I mean, I don't believe, okay, yeah, health generally is expensive. And of course, with what is going on in the economy, I understand. But when it comes to your health, please, let's take our health important, not particularly only the eye. But if you have to take, any other part, please, the eye is very important. It's not replaceable. It's not, it's not as easy as, the mother's kidney fits for the son, please give it to her. So please, let's take our eye serious. Personal hygiene about the eye. Don't just pick anything anywhere. If you are discharging in your eye, the next thing to put in your eye is not your urine. Then urine is a waste product. We have people come down with different types of infection. Some urine are infected already. And these things to have a period they incubate in the body, all this kind of infection. And by the time you are taking your urine, they are instilled in your eye. You don't even know if the urine is contaminated. And at that point, it even makes the situation worse. Some people go as far as putting battery water, breast milk. Please, these things need to be stopped. They should be, I'm creating an awareness where we keep saying it and we continue to say it. Please don't do this. And they come and say, my father, my mother, that's how my mother trained me. When I had discharges, she put breast milk. So why can't my wife put in my baby? And I'm like, sir, you're educated. I can't even believe. Your mother doesn't know better. You know better. We are saying it. Please don't do this thing. So personal hygiene, important. Your environmental hygiene is important also. And of course, for those are medication for eye, for eye drops and the like, before you put your eye drops, please ensure that you wash your hands. Proper hand washing. Don't just pick it and just put. And then when you want to also, sometimes when you put your eye drops, there are discharges, maybe some of the eye drops. Don't just pick or just take your clothes and clean. Get a tissue paper, something you can just move and discard immediately. So then, of course, another very important thing is always visit your eye clinic. Visit the eye clinic as much as possible. For those that have family history, please make it at least twice in a year. For those that you just feel like, oh, there's nothing wrong, don't wait till something is wrong before you visit. Visit it. Once you are 40 years and above, please. And once your kid in school start complaining, mommy, daddy, I can't see the blood clearly, I find it difficult, or this, please take them to the eye clinic. Let them screen them properly. Don't wait till damages have been done. Most of the eye, conditions are usually not symptomatic. By the time the symptoms are coming, sometimes it is bad. There's nothing or little that can be done. So check up is another important. Personal hygiene, environmental hygiene, your checkup. And of course, compliance to drug regimen. For a case like glaucoma, please always take your medication. It's important because that's the only way to slow down the rate at which the damage can be done. For those that they said is a surgical intervention, please, why not? If you can afford it, please go for it. It helps too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the section with us. I hope you enjoyed your section.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was a fabulous input. All the advices I well taken from my end. And of course, for those out there, well taken. She mentioned a whole lot, environmental and physical, your health, and of course, your drugs regime, however it is, make sure you follow through, because your eyes is one of the most important parts of your body. Do you understand? Is what you see. You don't want to turn blind. So that is why we're giving you this information. I'm going to really appreciate Boluwati Fekende. She's an ophthalmic nurse, and she is a coach. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. We are grateful from all of us at Galaxy TV. Thank you for educating the public, and of course for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and that's a wrap on Women's Corner.